let me take care of these take care of the viewers. Like, yeah, Chris, where's the content? I'm cooking it anyway. Preparing it anyway. Look, hello viewers, another beautiful day. Yeah, hope your 5 senses work. Health and strength is good. We're excellent. But let's see, do I need to turn on this light here? Do I need it? Do I need it? Oh, yeah, you might need it. Alright, you might need it. Alright, look. You know, the PlayStation, the state of play yesterday. You know what? I'm gonna leave the link of the state of play in the description box so you can watch it for yourself. The state of play yesterday was pretty good. You know, Sony showed a lot, and you know what the state of play showed that you know that the game industry is growing, and it's moving, and it's thriving through tough times. So the state of play was pretty good. So you know when it comes to when you're doing shows like this, you know, sometimes you you have to roll with what you have to roll with. It means that whatever you got to present is what you got to present, and you just have to roll with it. So the state of play was pretty good, and they showed off a lot. You know, they showed off a lot, and the games that they show, you know, Sony probably took a page from like Microsoft. Instead of like trying to release everything all at once in 2024, they stretch it out, meaning that they give you some games that are coming out for like October, November, December, but then you got to have games to cover for January, February, March, April. So the games that they showed yesterday, that was pretty good, and Sony did the show was decent. Far as like you know, like the PS5 Pro goes, you know, people that were complaining about the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro, they're gonna get it. Okay, all that complaining they were doing about $700 is for nothing, because you got people on YouTube that are making 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, or whatever, and they're gonna get the PS5 Pro. You know, they're gonna get it because they have to, because they're trying to get the best hardware for they're trying to get the best PS4 for that generation. So they're gonna pay for it, you know. And the games that they show for the game that Mark Cerny showed in the video yesterday for the PlayStation 5 Pro, you know, it helped the show a lot, you know, and it showed the performance level of the PS5 Pro. So those people that were complaining, you know, about the PlayStation 5 Pro price and all that, they're gonna pay for it. Bottom line, because they're gonna have to if they want to keep their YouTube, if they want to keep their YouTube channel active, if they want to keep their YouTube channel growing. If they want to expand on, if they want to bring in new viewers and subscribers and comments and all that, they're gonna get it. So all that complaining they were doing, it was really for nothing, really. What Sony showed yesterday, you know, was pretty decent. They showed off Lunar Silver Star Story. Now if you remember the PlayStation 1, Lunar Silver Star Story, it came in a box set, something like this, probably about a little bit wider, but like a box set, and it was like, I think about 6 to 7 CDs. That's what it was. I think 5, 6, 7 CDs. They were of Lunar Silver Star Story. It was a box set, and it was a collector's item too. So there were 2. I think there was like Lunar Silver Star Story 1 and Lunar Silver Star Story 2. 2 different box sets. So they showed it yesterday. They remastered it and showed it. Now the remaster is for people who never played the game, or people who tried to get the box set and people who couldn't find it, or maybe it got too expensive, so they remaster it and then they bring it to today's generation. So for those people who are behind on their RPGs, or they probably got the PlayStation 1 and they don't have Lunar Silver Star Story. Now they can get it to play it on the on their PS4, PS5, somewhere around there. So yeah, and I think even the Switch. That's the Lunar Silver Star Stories for RPG lovers. Monster Hunter. Yeah, that franchise is growing. So that game, for what Capcom showed yesterday, pretty good. You know, yeah, the Monster Hunter universe is always expanding and growing. You know, so another chapter to that to that franchise. You know, so yeah. What else did they show? They showed what's that? Dragon Age. You know, that game is coming out on the Steam Deck, portable PCs, laptop, desktop. So yeah, Xbox, PC, yeah. It might come out on the Switch too. now that Nintendo got into double figures with the with their 12 gigs of RAM on the Switch too. So it might come out on the Switch. On the Dragon Age might come out on the Switch, but pretty good for what they showed yesterday. What else did they show? They showed like a video clip of like all the, like they showed like the last was it the Last of Us, Horizon Forbidden West. They even showed a new Ghost of Tsushima from a woman's samurai's perspective. So it would be like how they did Tenchu. I think it was Tenchu Stealth Assassin, and Tenchu Stealth Assassin series, where you could play as a female ninja. So they showed it from that perspective. So yeah, what they showed yesterday was pretty good, you know. And that Ghost of Tsushima franchise is growing. Somebody said in the comment, they call it the woke of Tsushima, and I was laughing. They even showed Pal World on the showcase yesterday. Now some people might call Pal World Pokemon with guns, but it's deeper than that. Pal World Pokemon is like the good side of animal training, where you catch them. Pal World is the dark side of animal training. Pokemon, you have skinny. The women in Pokemon, they're skinny, they're fit. In Pal World, they're plus size. They're plus size. Now, if you want to throw, if you want to add Stellar Blade to the controversy, fine. But if you want to talk about women in video games, just look at the Dead or Alive series and then leave it from there. But anyway. So, Pal World is more than just Pokemon with guns. So, you know, Pokemon is like the good side of animal training. Pal World is the darker side, you know. So, Pokemon, you have skinny women. Pal World, you got plus size. So, you know, it's more than just just Pokemon with guns. And the things that you can't do, in Pokemon is what you can do in Pal World. So which means that there's two different type of gamers. That some people like those type of games when it comes to Pal World, and then you have people that like the Pokemon type of game that don't deal with excessive violence, so to speak. But other than that, man, that's Pal World in a nutshell. Now, to me, when I saw that yesterday, that's coming out for PlayStation 5, even though there was an article from eTechnics, they were saying that Pocket Pair had canceled. I'd taken down Pal World from the TGS, but then they put it back up. So it looked like Pocket Pair is just following through with Pal World. They're not even. I don't think they're really worried anymore about the lawsuit that Nintendo try to hit them with. I think their attitude is like, we're not worried anymore. It's like we got the game to work on. But anyway, so the PlayStation fans, they'll be playing Pal World on the PlayStation 5, and with the game show yesterday, these developers, they're humans. They're not robots. They're humans. So I mean, they have their own lives to live too. So you know, they put a lot of work into those games to get them to where they need to be. When it comes to these game shows, it's all about presentation. So sometimes what you present is what you present. You just have to roll with it. And they didn't want to release all their games for the rest of 2024 because they got the 2025. In the year 2025 is going to bring on new challenges in the game industry. So they took some of those games and expanded and carried over into 2025 so they can have something to show when the years start between January, February, March, April. So yeah, there's no such thing in this. There's no such thing in the video game universe, especially when you're dealing with shows and seminar, as the perfect show. As the best show, the perfect show, or whatever. You just have to roll with what you have to roll with. You just have to have something. You got to have something to show on what the game industry is doing going forward. Now that 2025 is almost here in 3 months. So yeah. But there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes though, because I saw there's a YouTuber that was he was talking about, like for instance on the Microsoft side of things, like Activision is trying to bring back the Marvel, the X-Men Legends 1 and 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They're trying to bring those back to modern consoles, so they're trying to work that out. I even talked about doing the Activision Blizzard situation when AT&T had Rocksteady, NetherRealm Studios, and WB for I think $5 billion on the table, and just $5 billion. And during the Activision Blizzard court case, when Sony and Microsoft was going at it, AT&T put that deal out there on the table because they were trying to expand their horizon. And I remember saying that Sony should have snatched up Rocksteady, should have snatched up that deal, but they got so distracted by the Activision court case that they missed it. So now there's news now of Sony's trying to get Batman exclusive to PlayStation. But me, I already talked about it, so to see that play out now is kind of funny to me. But anyway, there's a lot going on in the game industry. Whoops. Oh, stop it. There's a lot going on behind the scene, in the gaming industry. When 2025 rolls around, it will show itself. But the games that are coming out for October, November, December, that's good. That should hold those 3 months. Those games will hold the fort for the rest of the year until 2025 gets around. In the PlayStation Showcase, they showed Metal Gear. When they were showing the PS5 Pro, of all showing the performance level of the PS5 Pro. They showed Metal Gear. Now, if you remember when I think it was the last showcase that Sony did, they had a little discussion with Kojima. So it looks like Kojima is like there was news of Konami's trying to get Kojima to help them out with Metal Gear 3. So maybe next year Metal Gear 3 will be available. So if it didn't come out this year, it's not a bad thing, you know. It's all about like keeping the game industry active and moving, you know. You don't want to be stagnant within the you don't want the game industry to be stagnant. So instead of taking all your gaming and releasing them for the rest of October, November, December, you got to worry about next year. So when you see Microsoft and Sony or, you know, Nintendo, they delay a game, you know, that was supposed to come out this year. You know, don't take it personal. You know, it's all about keeping the game industry active and moving. So, like I said earlier in this video, next year brings its own challenges and problems to the game industry. So, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Valve, and ASUS, Lenovo, the Orange Pi developers, ANEO, 1X, the GPD, the OXO, all these handheld developers and console developers, they have their 2025 is going to bring some challenges to them, so they have to be ready for that. So that's why they extend the games out the way they do, you know, so to keep the game industry moving. And also you know, there will be game shows again. You know, Microsoft will do an Xbox showcase next year to show what's coming, and then Sony will do another PlayStation showcase next year to show what's really going to be released in 2025, and then Nintendo will do the same. So is Valve and everybody else. So it's all about keeping the game industry moving, man. But for what they showed yesterday was pretty good. Now, I seen an article today talking about Astrobot. Look, man, Astrobot. I'm gonna be funny when I say this. Astrobot did nothing for video games, but I'm joking. No, the article was talking about Astrobot. They were paying homage to Nintendo in the platformer department, but if they're gonna do that, they might as well do the same for who was that? Croc the Lizard. I'm sitting here joking. Croc the Lizard. Bonk Adventure. All that. All those platformer games that paved the way. You know, even Sega. You know, so yeah. You know, Astrobot is a pretty good game for the PlayStation fan. But I'm joking when I said that though. But anyway, look. Yeah. But you know, the showcase yesterday. You know, it showed that the game industry is moving, you know, and it's moving through tough times. I mean, even when the pandemic came around, you know, had happened, you know, the game industry had to make adjustments, you know, to keep moving. But good thing that they had those digital storefronts. Good thing they had the digital storefronts up and ready to meet that challenge, you know. So yeah. To keep moving, so like, you know, like Steam, GOG, Epic, you know, Game Billet, Games Planet, Humble, Fanatical, Nintendo, Sony, Sega. Good thing they had those digital storefronts up to keep the game industry moving, you know. So in a situation like that, so when you see the showcase and it didn't meet your you know, so-called expectations. You can't be too harsh. You can't be too harsh against the developers, you know, because you know it's a challenge within itself to come up with a game to come up with a game and make sure it it succeeds on go through all the development phases to receive the the benefits and all that. So got to give the developers their breaks. Now with Concord, with the Concord situation, that I think that game should have they should have released it on the PlayStation 4 instead of just PlayStation 5, because the PlayStation 4 user base is big. So Sony should have I mean the developers of Concord should have released it on the PS4 and PS5, and maybe they would have gotten the results they were looking for. But since they went all PlayStation 5, they missed out on a lot of benefits. So or revenue, So yeah, some people are saying that the Concord is the biggest flop in video games, but not really. I think they miscalculated the whole releasing the game on the both PS4 and PS5. So that's the outcome of that. But other than that, man, the game industry is moving, and it's still growing. Games are being made, games are being developed, games are being being released. So and with those games comes updates. So we might have I mean there's up and down times in the game industry, but the developers are always trying to find a way to keep it moving. So like I said, next year 2025 will bring its own problems and challenges in the game industry. So gamers need to get ready for that. They need to. Yeah. Some people. Some studios were closed. Some studios were closed. Some studios were shut down. Some people were released, let go, laid off, and some developers that got laid off, from some developers from those studios that were closed and shut down, they were moved to other projects. So there's always things happening in the game industry, man. So yeah, things happen. So console manufacturers have to make adjustments. So the game industry is it's always up and down. So but they're always trying to find a way to keep it moving. So you gamers, you have plenty of games to play. You do. You have plenty of games to play. Yeah, you got plenty of games, man. Because if you take let's see, Elden Rings, and then the Shadows of the Erdtree expansion, and then add that to the Dark Souls trilogy, and then add that to Skyrim or Monster Hunter, you got plenty of games to play. If you like the Final Fantasies, the remakes, or the Spider-Man games or Batman games, got plenty of games to play, man. So yeah, the game industry just have its up and it's a up and down. It's always up and down. There's high moments and then there's low moments, but within the high and low moments, the developers are always trying to make sure the game industry stays moving, stays active through up and down times. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, the Star Wars Star Thing, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.